went into a neurologist, and he diagnosed me. He said, after a few minutes, why don't you have a seat? And I sat down, and he said, I'm sorry to tell you, you have Parkinson's disease. Serving my country was one of the proudest, 4 years of my life. The Camp Lejeune water contamination, it was unfortunate. There was a period of time in my life when I was pretty bitter about that, but I've moved on mentally and physically. I'm doing what I can to make myself better, and I'm hopefully bringing others to that realization as well. My name is Nate Jolliff. I'm a very proud United States Marine Corps veteran. I joined in 1984, and I did so because mainly of the October 1983 barracks bombing in Beirut. So I started to look at the armed forces, and I chose what I felt was the best of the best in the United States Marine Corps. I was deployed to Guam for 15 months, and then from Guam I came back to stateside, to Camp Lejeune. Spent a couple years there, was deployed to other areas. Always came back with an appreciation of the culture that I just experienced, but I almost always wanted to kiss the ground when I got off the plane. A couple years prior to my diagnosis, I started to experience some odd things happening with my body. One of them was a little twitch in the right hand, difficulty typing, not difficulty, but just not as fast as the left hand. I wasn't sure why that was. It's really a brain disease that affects movement. Shortly thereafter the diagnosis, which was in July of 2021, there was lots of focus on TV commercials on have you ever served or been in Camp Lejeune. I kind of put two and two together. When I went through the VA, they did categorize me as 100% totally and permanently disabled. Exercise is the only known thing that slows the progression of Parkinson's. So when I hear that, I take that to the nth degree. I train every day, Monday through Friday, with Rock Steady Boxing, which is boxing for people with Parkinson's. With that diagnosis, the movement disorder specialist was wonderful. She said, there's an organization you really need to check out, and that's the Michigan Parkinson Foundation. Caught the eye of the CEO, and she said, hey, I'd really like to have you consider being on our board of directors as a veteran advocate. My eyes lit up, and at that moment I knew that the answer was yes. There's a lot of things that I am trying to do for the veterans community, and one of them is starting a support group, Veterans with Parkinson's support group. We started this in January of 2024, and last month we were up to 61 members, of which 39 are veterans with Parkinson's. And obviously with the Parkinson's diagnosis and our support group that we started, I became a regular member with the Marine Corps League, Macomb County Detachment 154. We're all about community and the camaraderie of the Marine Corps. There's really two paths you can take when you get some devastating news. And you can crawl into a corner and feel sorry for yourself and wither away and go that route. Or you can just pick yourself up from your bootstraps, if you will, and just make that decision that you are going to work on getting better, do whatever you can to slow the progression of this disease, but more importantly, to give back to the community. There's so many people out there that are newly diagnosed with Parkinson's. It's almost therapy for me as I see and hear and talk to these individuals that just need somebody to listen. My story is not unlike many others. I think the one thing that I'll leave here is, just having that positive energy, that positive outlook can go a long way towards getting you through pretty much every challenge that you may face. And it's more than just saying it, but it's living it.